If you ask a computer, the computer says the average American receives $17,000 a year. You say, gee, that's pretty good. But if you went around talking to most Americans, they don't receive anything like that. I don't know what that means. There's 1.5 babies born every second. What the hell's a half a baby? You know what I mean? The statistics don't make sense in many areas. They're insane if you try to eat those figures. You know what I'm talking about? That the average person has 3.5 eyes. You know what do you want to do with things like that? Well, the average lifespan. I'm not interested in that. I'm really not interested in that. Because people live longer in Hawaii than anywhere in the world. So when they figure out the average lifespan, they include in the world all the areas. So you don't know where you're at. All I want to know is what the lifespan is in Dade County, because that's where I'm at. And I want to know what the incidence of lung cancer is in Dade County. And I want to know how many sharks attack people on Key Biscayne, not average in the world. You know, very few Eskimos are attacked by sharks because they're always swimming right now. I'm not, statistics, when put in that kind of category, I don't care for. Now, a lot of people love it, I think it's great. You know, 1.5 alcoholics, what's a half of an alcoholic? Okay. So there's a lot of crap. And the reason for it is to conceal something. I wonder if you understand that. When you give the average income, you're concealing a hell of a lot of information. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Information like what? What need to be concealed?
Well, suppose half of us here make 10,000 a year, see? And the other half make nothing a year. I can talk about the average income. It wouldn't make sense, though, would it? That's what I mean. It tends to conceal things. And you can just go on, it's easier to describe that this man has coronary thrombosis, that she has an infection of the liver. This is the truth, I'm saying. If you went around just saying that, not saying 1 in 10 are going to get this kind of disorder, it's much better to announce it that way. Do you know what I mean? Just announce what it is. Okay? Because if you want to use statistics, then here's what I'd like to see in the newspapers. Of the 10,000 young ladies that go to Los Angeles every week to get into movies, 3 land a job. Okay? What if they put all kinds of statistics there? People that go to a court of law that don't have money for good representation generally lose. I'd like to see that. Yes, that's true what I'm saying. How come that isn't in your statistics? How come the only shit in your statistic is the average American has 1 car, because they don't want to tell you that the car isn't paid for. It doesn't say the average American has 1 car, a wheelbarrow, and a lawnmower. But it doesn't say that it doesn't work most of the time. And a car that needs 16% repair, and most of it is owned by private finance companies. You understand? They don't give you that. And so I would say that statistics is strictly bullshit when used that way. Is that all right now?
Sure.
The computers, then, are not statistical scientific machines yet. They only are so much in as much as you feed it a problem. If you want to run a pipeline from Alaska, from one point of Alaska down to another point, you know how much pipe will be used and how many welded joints and how many tons of steel will be used. You can use computers for very complex problems of that kind. You can use computers to find instantaneous variables all through a system and get the outcome. That would be all right if the system is fundamentally physical. You think you know what I mean by that? It's, again, a numerical system that represents physical events. Now, let me tell you another thing. I can get you a typewriter with numbers on it only. And I can give you a series of numbers to type. And you do 1, 9, 4, 6, a whole bunch of numbers like that. And you send it to Joe in California. And 1 means don't invest in United States Steel today. 9, you can work that out. So you've assigned a numerical equivalent to events, which is easier. By giving him 100 numbers, I can tell him the significant pages of a book that we know about, the significant pages that contain information. You see what I'm getting at? All right. Now, if we have a line high on the 6th, it's on the beginning of the 6th page, down here in the middle of the 6th page, you can work out a code. All right, so numbers can represent anything at all. But if they stand for events in the physical world, they're real. If they don't, they're worthless. I don't know what is real about a half a baby is born every 1/20th of a second. I don't know how real that is or what I can do with it. I don't know what I can do with that kind of statistic. Okay. What do you want to talk about? Anything else? Do you have anything in mind? Okay.
And you say, sometimes when you're talking, you always say, why don't they say something about statistics? You always say, why don't they? Like, who are you talking about? Because I don't think you say, why don't they say things on the headlines?